Hi there. I'm very glad to welcome you today to our session. We'll be talking about USB Type-C and all around this. So if you can hear me well and see me well, please, I ask you to react somehow, type something to the chat. So if you can see and hear me well, please give me some feedback. Darius? Okay, thank you. I think we'll wait for a minute or two probably, and we'll start our session. Let me introduce myself. My name is Vadim. I'm a technical expert at Kramer. I'm in charge of education and system engineering as well. So today I'm very glad to meet you. I'm very glad to tell you something about the USB Type-C, the very convenient, very contemporary interface, but somehow rather complicated, and it has some secret things we should talk about, something special we should talk about, because just a Type-C interface located on your device doesn't mean that you'll definitely get all the advantages and all the features that you are waiting for, because it's rather complex. Well, let's go. Today we're gonna talk about USB Type-C. Type-C is a very convenient thing. We're facing it every day, because talking about Type-C, we can notice the smartphones, we can notice tablets, we can notice the laptops, some peripheral devices like PTZ cameras, regular web cameras, and speakerphones, and earbuds, wireless earbuds, anything you can charge, anything you can carry with yourself. Almost everything nowadays is equipped with a Type-C interface. Why is it so? First of all, the Type-C is a rather complex and very unique thing, because it was developed. It has been developed for a long time. Let me tell you that the Type-C interface specifications is around 940 pages. So almost 1,000 pages of technical text that explains how this interface should work and what it is all about, and what we can get, and what should we do to get the best of this interface. Talking about the interface itself, about the small tiny connector, the USB Type-C, it is described on 420 pages. You can find those documents at the USB Implementary Forum. So go to the official USB website, you can find those documents. But let me tell you that the text is rather hard to read, hard to understand. So it's more about the technical guys, about the programmer guys, and so on and so forth. We at Kramer produce rather a wide range of equipment that's intended to use with the Type-C. Today, I'll tell you a little bit about every type of equipment with the Type-C that we produce and offer you and your respectable clients as well. So, what is USB? USB, first of all, it's a serial bus. Yes, it's a serial bus just to transfer some data, for data exchange for the first glance. Then we get some power requirements. So when you connect something to the USB interface, you can charge it, or you can power it up. For example, if we're talking about the web cameras or mice or keyboards or anything. Well, talking about the USB 2.0 that was implemented way almost 20 years ago, I suppose. It had a speed limit of 480 megabits per second. Nowadays, the USB 3.2, for example, full-featured, it can provide you up to 40 gigs of data transfer. That's way too much, as for me. And talking about the USB implementary form, they introduced the USB 4.0 specification the previous year in October. And it tells us that at the highest point, you can get up to 80 gigabit per second of data transfer. It's huge numbers, and wouldn't I say that we need this speed of data transfer every day? But let's take a look how it looked before, and from where to where we were going, and what we have today, and how we work with this. Okay, so talking about the USB, you can remember that the classic USB interface looks like this. It's a convenient one, but a lot of jokes were told about it, that you cannot plug in a USB if you don't look at it, or you can plug it only from the third attempt, because the first two don't count. When we were talking about adding some speed, we took the regular not Type-C, I'm sorry, micro USB connector, and added a special small connector to it to increase the data transfer, because we needed more bandwidth, we needed more speed. Okay. When we were talking about connecting the USB 3.0 high-speed, ultra-high-speed USB to from host to the device, we were talking about some weird connectors, and they were completely different on the other sides. And you cannot reverse the cable. It's rather inconvenient to use, and even though we couldn't say that if you have the USB 3.0, for example, connection, you can get all the advantages of the 3.0 connection at all. Well, first of all, talking about the USB Type-C, we should notice that the connector itself, for example, talking about the connector, it's bi-directional. You can connect it upwards or standard way, doesn't matter. You can connect it blindly, not looking at the interface itself. It's very convenient to use. It's very rugged. In the document from the USB implementers, it's told that the connector itself should stand something like millions of connections and deconnections. So it's very sturdy, very rigid, very reliable, and very stable. Well, after that, we should notice what's in common between the standard USB connectors, the standard USB cables I've been talking about just 2 minutes before, and talking about the USB-C cables. Well, first of all, is the data transfer. That's the main point that we're talking about. USB is all about data transfer. Second one is power, because USB-C at its best can provide you up to 100 watts of charging power. So that's completely enough to charge a laptop, to charge a big tablet, or quickly charge a smartphone. It's very convenient. Also, the cable is bi-directional. You don't have a side that is intended to be connected only to the host, and another one will be connected only to the device. We are not talking about the optical cables now. I will return to this matter a little bit later. Then we have the number of connections, because the old USB cables had only 4 pairs, only 4 connectors, 2 for power and 2 for data transfer. Data transfer one direction and another direction as well. So today we have 24 connectors in the USB Type-C connector, and all of them are made just to stand for their own operations. So if you need, you can implement some multimedia into the USB cable, and it's widely used in the computer technologies. For example, some companies that produce the laptops, they use the USB Type-C interface located on their laptop just to connect the outer devices, the display devices, to provide you with a secure and quick connection that can provide you with high quality picture you can send from your laptop to the display, to the television, or something like that. It also supports some kinds of alternative mode. For example, the DisplayPort alternative mode, or Thunderbolt, or Super Speed, or backwards reverse functions to support the old USB connections, and so on and so on. So if we are talking about the cable, what should we notice first of all? If you're going to buy some cable for USB Type-C connection, first of all, I would like you to recommend to look at the at its name, because if the letters FF figure in the name, so you'll better buy this one, because you'll get the most of your cable, because FF means full-featured. You can get the high power, you can get the highest possible data transfer speed, and also you get your multimedia transfer functions as well if you have those letters in the name of your cable. Okay. Talking about the Kramer products, I was talking previously about the extenders, and for example, here I have the Kit 500, a brand new, absolutely piece of technical art, I'd like to say so. Set of a transmitter and a receiver, automatical switcher and scaler. So this is a good set of equipment that can cover almost any of your needs if you are going to send some high resolution signals to a long distance. Also, we have a Kramer K bar. This is a sound bar with a camera that's connected and powered, and it communicates with our laptop, also with the USB Type-C. Also, here we have some peripherals. For example, the Kramer K-Speak. It's a speakerphone you can use in your daily work. It's also equipped with the Type-C interface. You can see it here. Also, we do have here a K180 Mini. It's a wide-angle camera to use in small small spaces, just to cover as much of the video space as possible. An old one, but a good one, K-Spider. This is a cable that has the HDMI connection on one side and 2 connectors on the other side. The Type-C, the HDMI regular, also Thunderbolt, and a standard display port. It's a very convenient thing you can use in your installation just to connect almost every video source to your display device. Also, we provide you with the different cables you may also need, because here we have an active USB Type-C cable. Here you can see in those parts the special chips are located that convert the data and send it to long distance. Also, we do have some optical active cables. Those cables are not omnidirectional. We have one side is always connected to the device, another one is always connected to the host. It's marked with special flags, and you'll never make a mistake. Also, a good thing I'd like to show you, it's a great thing in your office. You can use these ones called the KDOCK 6. Previously, we've received the KDOCKs 1, 2, and 3, and 4. This one, the KDOCK 6, it comes with a laptop stand made of aluminum. Also, this is a great piece of equipment, so you can see it here, and everything you can see and hear today is connected right to this magic bright box. So internet connection, audio card with the microphone, and the USB PTZ camera, and the laptop itself is also connected by the USB full feature cable made by Kramer. So a great thing to use. Also USB Type-C based. It also has all the features. For example, the power delivery. You can charge your laptop and you can transfer all the data you ever will need, video and audio, and also USB commands. You can connect up to 2 monitors, one using the display port, another one using the HDMI port, and get up to 4K and 60 Hertz of video resolution. That's a pretty good result. We are proud of this product, and we highly recommend you to take a look at it, because it's a really great piece of equipment. Well, now I'd like to show you some slides and switch to the presentation, if it's possible. Yeah, thanks a lot. First of all, as I've already said, that USB Type-C is a type of connector, first of all. Then we are talking about its opportunities. It can transfer MHL, mobile high definition link data. It's a kind of HDMI replacement for mobile phones. If you need to connect your smartphone to the TV set quickly, so it's all about MHL. And also it can require some power from the television back to the smartphone, and that's it. You can use DisplayPort. DisplayPort generally is supported the DisplayPort version 1.3, but that's completely enough to get the 4K resolution at its best, and quickly connect and transfer all the video data you need. Also, it can work with HDMI, work with super speed, and also Thunderbolt, that was previously developed by Apple, implemented by Apple, and it has a reverse compatibility with the USB Type-C. Well, talking about the USB itself, returning to the old versions, I'd like to say that Type-C is way more convenient to read and to understand what we are talking about, because previously, talking about the USB version 2.0, we can tell that there were rather weird namings. For example, high-speed USB, super-speed USB, ultra-speed USB, ultra-speed plus USB, and one couldn't understand what it was all about, because there was no naming of the concrete of the definite numbers, and we couldn't know what speed now we are talking about. Okay, let's go on. First of all, USB Type-C is a great single cable solution. Yes, it is, because you can get power, you can get multimedia experience, and also you can get your data transfer at highest possible speeds now available at the market. Second one is a tidy space on the table, because one cable means no hassle, no extra cables on the table. It's great and quick and neat and very pleasant to just to look at. Okay, save cost on cabling. I think it's clear, because the less cables you've got, the less money you should pay. That's it. And multiple ways to use. As I've already noticed, it is a single cable solution. You can use it for charging, you can use it for multimedia transfer, you can use it for data exchange, and it always works just fine. We offer different kinds of cables. All of them differ. First of all, when we are talking about the highest possible data transfer speed, we are talking about the passive cables, and the more bandwidth we need, the shorter will be the distance. So that's it. That's simple physics, and we cannot do anything with it. So if you need the highest possible data transfer speed, you should use as a short cable as possible. But sometimes there's a situation when you need to send your USB commands or USB data to a long distance. Well, this time, in this case, we'll recommend you to use the active cables. I've already shown you one of them. And you can see that this cable is just looks pretty much like a regular cable, but it is active. That means that it requires some power from the USB port to power its chip to encode somehow the USB data and send it to a longer distance, to decode it and use it as a regular USB connection. So you can use it in those cases when you need to send the signals from your USB camera to a long distance, and it's pretty convenient to use, but not all of those cables support as much charging power as you can wait from them. So talking about the passive cables can provide up to 100 watts of charging power, and the active cables will provide slightly less, but nevertheless it's pretty much enough to charge your laptop or tablet or smartphone. You should just wait a little bit more. And also we have some optical cables. I wouldn't say that the optical cables are very convenient to be those cables that you carry with yourself on a daily basis. No, those are cables intended to use for installations. So you can put this cable into a wall, throw it to a big distance, up to 30-40 meters, as much as you need, and get all the data on the opposite side. Of course, you won't get any charging power on the other side because it's optical and it's designed this way that it doesn't charge, but all the data will be transferred to a long distance and you won't lose any of your precious data. It works very, very well. So we have big portfolio of different kinds of USB Type-C products. We provide you with all of them, so you can just visit our official website to check for the specs. But I would like to say that, for example, we have also the cables that are rather popular to be used as professional grade cables to connect the smartphones to the laptops, for example. They offer 50 watts of charging and 10 gigs data transfer. They are very reliable, really sturdy, and I use those cables on a daily basis, for example, and they are pretty good. Also, we have cables that are data only. I must say that don't make a mistake. If you are looking for a Type-C cable, and if you are going to use it as a multimedia transfer cable, you should notice that it is FF marked, full featured, because if you don't have this marking, the cable itself probably can be the data only cable, and you won't get any multimedia support. You won't be able to make this cable work like DisplayPort alternative mode cable, or an MHL or DisplayPort++ or something like that. So take your time, and please be careful. In that case, you should better check twice. Also, we have the special devices to just to connect two cables to enlarge the distance to transfer our data. This one's called PT3UC. As you can get from the picture, it's connected with the USB Type-C cables on the both sides, and it's connected to a power supply on the side. So it can provide you with a longer distance if you use two cables and connect them to each other with this particular device. Myself, I wouldn't like to recommend you to use this as an installation solution, because the less cables you get in your installation, the more reliable the whole system will be. I don't like the small adapters and connectors and something like that, because I cannot rely on them for a long time. Nevertheless, if you need to connect just two cables to enlarge the distance and use them for 1 or 2 days, why not? You can use this kind of device. Frankly speaking, it's just fine to have some of those devices with you when you are going to set up the equipment. Okay, we also have some passive adapters that you can use to connect some USB data carriers, for example, the flash drives, to your mobile phone, to your laptop, to your, for example, tablet or something. Please take a look as well. Talking about the docks, we've got a lot of them, 6 models, first and from 1st to 6th. I've already shown you the KDOCK 6, and you can get up to 4K 60 visual experience. Also, most of them are equipped with a high-speed Ethernet port, and they are USB charging pass-through, so that means that it is a power delivery supported products. Power delivery is another one great feature that we can get from the USB Type-C, because since you can charge your laptop via the USB Type-C, then you can just connect your mobile phone to the same port you have just used to charge your laptop, and you'll be able to charge your smartphone from the laptop. So the power delivery is bi-directional, providing of power using the USB. Okay, so that's it. And I'd like to say something about the misunderstanding about the Type-C products and USB as well. Let me switch back to the main video screen. Okay, just my camera view. Okay, so As you can see here, I'm holding a KSpeak. It's a speakerphone by Kramer. Also, it has an USB Type-C. It can be used to charge the unit because it's battery operated. It has a charging battery inside. It is a Bluetooth, and it can also be used like a USB device. But talking about it, we should notice that it is a sound device. You get one channel of audio microphone and 2 channels of audio as a speaker. That means 3 channels of audio. It's fairly enough to use the USB 2.0 to obtain this result. So the USB-C connector doesn't mean that you get all the 40 gigs per second data transfer. It doesn't mean the ultra high speed data transfer or multimedia functions. It can be used just like an electrical interface, just to connect it to one another. Also, we have a K180 Mini here. It has a USB-A connector here and a USB-C. USB-C is needed to be connected to the laptop or to the computer, and this one is used to cascade itself and make a single solution with the KSpeak. So you connect the KSpeak here, and you get the sound and the video via the USB connection from here to your laptop. And you also need no drivers at all, just to work with this equipment, and it will work just fine. So I would like to tell that I think it's all from my side. I would like to thank you very much for joining us today. Let me introduce my colleagues from modulead.eu. Ben is the CEO. You can find his email in the chat. So if you've got any questions, you may feel free to ask me those questions in the chat, and I'll be glad to try to answer to you. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Well, I hope this was somehow useful for you. Feel free to email us about the topics you'd like to hear from us. I'll try to do our online sessions on a regular basis, probably I think once a month or something. And it depends on you which topic we should talk about the next time. So, thank you very much. Have a good time. Best wishes from Kramer. See ya.